Let's begin by setting the context. We understand the magnitude of this massive change. It is the greatest challenge and opportunity since 2006 when Medicare Part D went into effect, and by now has generated over 20 million beneficiaries. It is an extremely hectic time, only 132 days and counting until open enrollment, still with regulatory details unfolding while you are trying to align everything internally. And of course, in a time of limited resources, those resources are even under more strain with lots of competing needs, deadlines, and priorities internally. But opportunity is here, and we say that with a big splash and a smile. Let's get started defining that opportunity. Capturing Hispanics under ACA is not a nice-to-have, but a business necessity. At a national level, in fact, 3 in 10 of the immediate pool of new entrants, eligible adults currently uninsured, will come from the Hispanic segment. That means that about 7 million of the 24 million of newly insured eligible will come from the Hispanic market. This includes both Medicaid expansion as well as the exchange-eligible adults, namely people falling between 100 and up to 400 of the federal poverty level. If we take a closer look at large markets, let's say Chicago, the opportunity that Hispanics represent is even greater. In Chicago, of the 742,000 currently uninsured and newly eligible, 44% will be Hispanic. Let's take another glimpse at a major city and jump to the mile-high city, Denver. This time, we take a look at the demographics of the opportunity from eligible uninsured by generational segments, millennials, Gen Xers, and boomers. And within those generations, we zoom to see what role will Hispanics play. Of the total 341,000 newly eligible in Denver, the millennial segment on the first column is of critical importance to health insurers, as nearly 37% of the uninsured eligible will be between 18 and 29. Look in the first column to the upper portion. Among millennials, about 43% are in fact young Hispanics. Now let's move to the second column for Gen Xers. Gen Xers would generate about 34% of Denver's opportunity, and Hispanics represent 40% of Denver's Gen Xers, nearly identical to the proportion of Hispanic among millennials. Together, millennials and Gen Xers will account for over 2/3 of the total eligible new ACA market. And naturally, since Hispanics average almost 10 years younger than non-Hispanics, the opportunity among younger generations will be skewed by Hispanics in local markets across the entire country. So, all right, we're almost ready for the race. What have we learned so far? We defined the scale of the opportunity. The Hispanic market is going to be large, 7 million of the 24 million newly insured. We also showed how millennials and Gen Xers are also going to be critical bases to win, and that a significant portion of those generations will also be Latino. We also emphasized that the Hispanic market isn't completely different from the general market, but it does have key differences and nuances that should be infused into your plans.